What's going on, traders? John with Tactical Trading here with our OTC Saturday. Going to make this a short one because I am well under the weather. I am actually suffering here, but going to make the video for you guys. We're going to start with some of the plays we called last week. Had some pretty darn good success as far as some of the bottom calls and some of the calls from last week. We're going to start with TPTW. Last week, we actually alerted this one at 0.0019, and this thing ran well over a penny. If you see here on the chart, this thing almost ran to what did it run to? What was the high? 119. So I don't think this one's done. They've been coming out with some news pretty much all week long. And I don't. And again, when this thing runs, it can run. I mean, if we look back over the last 2 years, you can see there's been some monumental runs with this one. One of them well up to 10 cents and another up to 7 cents. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 2-3 cents out of this thing. Could do better, but I'd be very happy with 2 or 3 cents out of this thing. And from where we picked it up at a fifth of a penny, everybody's banking on this one. So still got my eye on TPTW, and that one was a great performer last week. Another one. This one just keeps on putting out beautiful news. The volume is strong, 57 million in volume. And if you want to just look at this chart, absolutely beautiful. We'll break this down to the 3-month, and you can see this thing is just steadily climbing. And I still think this one has plenty of room. Like I said last week at 0.088, I still think this thing has plenty of room to run, and absolutely still like this one. We're going to go quickly over a few of these that we talked about last week. WNFT. Why does it always do that to me? And WNFT, that one's up pretty good from last week. As you can see, we called this one out under 5 cents. And so this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Yeah, so we call this thing out under 5 cents, and we're up to 6.3. So I think this thing going into the court date still has some room to run. And then obviously there's a couple others that had a good, pretty good performance last week. Sea Growth Capital up 24% on Friday, which is excellent. You can see it kind of shifted down a little bit, kind of traded sideways, but you can see the strength pouring back in on Friday with a little bit of volume too. So definitely keep this one on your radar. And let's see, DUTV, we talked about this one. And this one had it was up 5% on Friday, nothing special. But it was up huge on Wednesday as well too. So you could see, I mean, this thing was down here in the 40s. So it's up decent from last weekend, and I still think this is a little bit of a longer term play that I think has a chance. Being that it's in the agricultural space and fertilizer, I think this one has a chance to really continue to run, and then. Typing the wrong thing there. And then up 16% GDVM. This one was up 15%. And you can see how it was kind of flat, just kind of consolidating a little bit for the last almost 2 weeks, week and a half, and then just kind of bursted out on Friday. And I think once we get to past these little over these 5 cent area, this thing can really push again and have another push. So still like this one. So we had some pretty good success from last week, from the calls last week. Now, someone I want to take a look at this week. Link reservations, LRSV. This one did pull back, and this is why I really like this one, because this one ran really, really strong on Wednesday and Thursday. Popped from 0.0025 area, 29 area, and this thing ran all the way up to what, 137. So this one had a very strong run, pulled back pretty strongly as well too, because now it's about almost half of that at 0.0074. This thing's got a great share structure. We can take a look right here at the security details. And you can see it's under 1 billion shares on the authorized shares. Outstanding's only at 790 million, with about a $500 million restricted. So we're only looking at about a little under 300 million on the unrestricted shares. So any news on this thing can really push LRSV, and I think we will get that news. One that had some great news last week from some high-grade lithium, and that's Bright Rock Gold Corp. They had some really good news last week, so I think this one has a chance to really start going. This one's right at 50 cents right now, a little bit over 50 cents, close to the highs. We've been kind of talking about this thing on Twitter for quite some time now, and this thing has been pushing. So I would definitely take a look at this one. Really like BRGC. So I definitely keep this one on your radar. I'm going to go to some cheaper plays. Mineral RITE Corporation. This one's only at 0.0015, but was kind of strong over the past couple of weeks. There's been a lot of chatter about this thing over the past few months on Twitter, about some mergers, some acquisitions coming into the shell. And what we have here, it looks like the news is starting to heat up, and over the past 3 weeks, this thing has been precipitously climbing. A lot of chatter on Twitter about this thing, a lot of volume. As you can see, 58 million, 52 million, 49 million, and then even getting up into the, getting into the 100 million. So this one has quite a bit of volume. I would definitely keep my eye very closely on RITE. Another one would be Profitable Developments Inc. This one's in the TRIPS at TRIPS 9. Has had 2 very strong days, so I probably want to wait, maybe see if this thing pulls back to the 6 or 7 area before jumping in. But then again, if this thing breaks 10, who knows where it can go. So that would just be where I'd be looking. I grabbed some on Friday, right around this area, right around the 8 and the 9s. But yeah, I think with the 2 strong days, you never know what can happen with these trip plays. Once they break out of trips, you turn around, they're 17, 18. So, but PRDL is definitely what I'm looking at. Take a look at the share structure here. A little bit fatter than I typically like, but I mean, held at the DTC. We have only 3.5 billion. 4.3 or 4.4, closer to 4.4 on the unrestricted. So, I mean, it's not a slob, but it's definitely not. I prefer them, 2 billion and less, 2 billion and under. And I'm going to bring a couple more. One we've been talking about for quite some time, CYBL. I would definitely keep an eye on this one because I think this thing's overdue for a little bit of a run here. Had a nice day on Friday with a little bit of volume as well too. Then you can see over the past 3 months, this thing's kind of just been flagging between that 135 and a penny area, and the penny's been basically the low of where this thing has been at. But this company has a lot of stuff going on, and this has been one of the channel favorites for over a year now. So definitely keep an eye on CYBL. And there's one more that's in the trips right now that I would be definitely looking at grabbing some. The volume is not where I'd like it to be, but if we get a little volume in this one might take a little bit longer. But this is GGSM, Gold and Gemstone, and you can see this thing's kind of flagging right near the bottom. We pull back that 2-year mark. We're right around the bottom of the last 2 years. You can see, a couple times here hit this way back in March of 2021, and then again in September of 2021. Also, right again here in looks like July or maybe August of 22, and then kind of came back down here. Now this thing is bottoming out, and this is another bottom play I would definitely keep a close eye on. This is a company with revenues that's actually doing things. So definitely keep an eye on GGSM. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for watching the video. I'm definitely glad to be back. Terribly sorry I couldn't get into more detail about these, but you can't see from my little picture here, but I'm like literally sweating my tail off here, sick as a dog. I was sick since last week. It's been a horrible week. I had to do some work on the outside, and it just didn't help me out whatsoever. So especially yesterday with that cold weather. I had a lot of outside stuff to do around here, so kind of beat myself up, and I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have rested. So that's what I did today. So hopefully I get out with something towards the middle of the week. I knew I was going to do that last week, but like I said, I've been sick all week. So, but I think I should be, at least feeling a little better now. So hopefully we get this this plague out of the house. So we will definitely see you next Saturday, but hopefully, again, we'll have something during midweek. As always, please like, please share, please subscribe. Any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section below. And as always, let's get that money, traders.